All right, this is Mark Gutkowski, and I'm with Chris McCloskey, and we're going to do the inspection of the house. So let me flip this around to him, and we'll take a look. Okay, so this is Chris McCloskey. All right.
We're in the kitchen now. I was just explaining to Mark the microwave and the oven worked fine.
Okay.
Dishwasher is not secured. There's a couple of screws missing here at the top.
Okay. So that's just replacing the screws, or maybe even putting blocking in there so that will work?
One or the other, just so it doesn't fall forward.
Okay.
But it did go through a cycle fine.
Okay, so it's working, at least functioning. Seems to be functioning all right.
Underneath here they did a plumbing repair at some point and they just didn't seal the wall. So we've got an opening under there. That's not a code violation, but I recommend sealing them just to keep pests out.
Okay. And then the garbage disposal seems to be working okay?
It worked fine. We do have a GFI over here which turns off this outlet over here.
Okay, so this turns off that, and these were, in that other report, it said there was no GFIs in here, so this is new.
Correct.
Okay.
However, not knowing when this kitchen was built, there's supposed to be an outlet every 2 feet in every kitchen. They didn't do, they only had one there and one at the far end. So we're really shy a couple of outlets over here.
Oh, the one at the far end is the one that the phone is in, right?
Right.
Okay.
And then this outlet over here is on a different circuit and this is not GFI protected.
Okay, so you'd have to have an electrician figure out if it's connected to something else.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the GFI should be put in there.
All right.
Up top here we just have an area that looks like it's had moisture intrusions, a little bubbling of the plaster up there.
Now, is this the skylight that had damage
Yes,
in it?
it had
Okay.
a crack.
Okay, so that might, who knows, but that might be related to that crack? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Then this slider is just a little difficult to work. The screen is bent. And this slider, as well as every slider in the house with the exception of the casita, is all non-tempered glass.
Which just means that if you went through it, it would
Shatter.
It would shatter. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you're not required to change it. I'm just required to make sure you know that it's not tempered.
Okay, and then I'm noticing all these various levels, they all seem to slide, but these are all original hardware, right? So we're just talking, you can update them if you want, but everything that's here, you can just replace rollers and probably make it function better.
Make it function for the time being.
Okay. All right, what's next?
Again, the refrigerator, freezer worked fine. In the pantry, in the right-hand corner over here, you can see where there's moisture stains down there. I kind of suspect maybe the ice maker line might have leaked at some point in time.
Oh, okay, so that's why we might have that, or else they're very sloppy mopper.
Yes.
All right, where are we going next?
Family room. Wet bar worked fine, however, there's no GFI at the wet bar.
Is there even a plug at the wet bar? Oh, it is.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so, but you get a GFI, you have to replace that lovely mirrored cover.
Yes. And then the floor grate just bent and
But that's
should be replaced.
that's the return, the air
That's the
return? Okay.
Yeah. Fireplace worked fine. We've got 2 light switches over here that have no power to them at all. They're doing nothing.
Okay, and so this sort of relates to the thing that I deleted. Yes, everybody deleted. But we were up on the roof, and there's a ton of electricity up there that is either exposed or disconnected, so it's possible that's part of it?
That could be, very well be part of it.
Okay. What else?
As you come from this bedroom into the room, there should be a light switch to turn on. These are dead plates. So
Oh, so that should be like a three-way
there
switch
should
or
be
something
a
like
three-way
that?
switch with that over there. So as you walk into the room from either direction, you can turn the light on or off.
Okay, so that's more of a suggestion, that's not a requirement.
Right.
Okay.
Well, actually, it is a requirement.
If you're going up to code.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, they were here. Somebody's changed them.
Ah, yes, okay, somebody did take them out. What, those blanks? Come on, I'm sure it's just Velcro that has it on there.
This shower, this bathroom,
Okay,
I'm getting no flow out of this at all, but it's the aerator that's clogged. And I just don't have a wrench to unclog it. The shower did the exact same thing, and I was able to unscrew that, take it off, shake all the sand out of it, and now it's great.
so it was sand that
So
was
it's
in it?
sand and grit and
Well, I noticed that the kitchen sink, which is right on the other side of this, had tons of water pressure, so it's probably not a water pressure
It's not a
problem.
pressure issue.
Okay, Okay.
No, it's the aerator on the end. Because this one did the exact same thing, and now it's fine.
Okay.
I just shook all the sand out of it.
Okay.
I just can't get that off.
Okay.
But everything else there was good. They did put GFIs in. They weren't on the last report.
Okay, so that's been taken care of. Now you can do it.
Again, here we've got one light switch that doesn't work anything. This one works the ceiling light here.
Okay.
But this one doesn't work outlets, it doesn't work the outside light, doesn't work anything.
Okay, so it really doesn't do anything at all. So again, there's the spaghetti upstairs, which I am remiss in deleting that one. It's too bad. But there is really this kind of conduits upstairs, what could be the problem. Okay.
We've got an exterior door here. Again, code requires a light switch at every exterior door, so you can turn a light on to go outside at night. This light switch doesn't do anything.
Okay, so there's a lot of dead switchery
A lot
here.
of dead switches. Now this might work as a three-way with this from the kitchen, and it just may not be a three-way dimmer.
Okay.
But again, the switch
And
is
we've run into
fixed.
that in the living. We're not there yet, but in the hallway in the living room, there's a malfunction because there's probably just a two-way dimmer switch where there should be a three-way, and hence you can turn on those lights, but you have to have one in the on position.
Correct.
Okay.
Do you want to do the casino while we're here?
Sure, let's go on out.
Casino house?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense to go that direction. All right, so what's our story in the casita?
In the casita, again, we've got one light switch that works the outside patio as we go out. This light switch is dead.
You sure those aren't just there as a gratification
That's
exercise?
a lot of money in dimmers.
Okay, so that's another dimmer switch that's doing no thing.
I have a feeling that it works as a three-way with this one, but they didn't buy three-way dimmers. It would make sense that that would work from either side.
Oh yeah, that would totally make sense. Okay, so it's possible that they just have these two-way dimmers that they got a cut rate electrician doing some of the work that was here. Okay.
And behind this panel over here on the shelves is a sub-panel back there.
This is the elusive. Is this the hidden one?
That's the hidden sub-panel.
Okay, and this is the one you said had rust on it,
It's
right?
rusty inside, and they mix grounds and neutrals inside. Number one, you can't mix grounds and neutrals in a sub-panel, and anytime you get rust, you get resistance, which equals heat, which equals fires. So whenever you get a rusty panel, it needs to be replaced.
Okay, and to replace that, do you probably have to open up the drywall, put a new panel up on
They
that?
can use the panel that's there. They'll just take the bus bars and the breakers out, put in new bus bars and new breakers.
Okay, okay, that's cool.
So it's not a real expensive job. It's not
Okay.
cheap, but it's not real expensive.
How about air conditioning in this room?
We've got a wall air conditioner which worked great. However, it doesn't have a heat cycle, so there's no heat in this room.
Oh, so in the winter, if it's chilly,
There's no heat.
and there's no vent.
No vent.
Well, that's unfortunate. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And?
Snuggle, get an electric blanket.
That's right, this is the romantic room. Okay.
Bathroom was fine. There was no issues in here at all.
Okay.
Everything worked good.
That's good.
Now, if you notice from standing over here looking under the door, you've got a great big gap under that door.
That's a light source, just in case the lights aren't on, right?
I guess.
Okay, so that needs weather stripping or
Weather
something?
stripping or, a sweep under there, something
Okay.
to keep pests out.
Alrighty. All right, well, let's move on to that. All right, we're on the far south end, so that's the clubhouse and the fountain, and that is our fabulous Inspector Chris, and then he's about to tell us about this, so what's up here?
Spa equipment here.
That doesn't look level.
No, the filter needs to be level. Luckily, the heater and the motor are both bonded for a change.
Oh, they are? Okay, they're bonded, okay.
However, the heater is non-functional. No matter what I do, I get absolutely nothing from the heat. I don't get the heater to turn on.
So the
at all.
heater doesn't turn on at all?
Spa heater is not working.
Okay, so that's a cold spa, so, all right, that's a problem. But the pump is working okay?
Pump is working fine, filter's working fine, even though it's on an angle.
Now this is the second location, because there's a whole nother one over there for the pool? Okay. Now this is definitely the spa one.
This is the spa.
Okay.
Because it's actually going out there now. The timer came on its own.
Oh, I see. It is doing that. Okay. All right. What's up next?
Just to point out over here at the base of the stucco, we've got what we call efflorescence, and that's from moisture. And this whole section of the yard slopes towards this room, and that's what's causing the stucco to slough off there. Same with around the corner over here, it's a little bit worse. Because the sprinklers, everything is running this way.
So I'm not sure you can change all the slope of this, but how would you deal with this problem?
I would do a rock area here and then divert the sprinklers away from it.
Okay, so that you have a dry space
You
that
have a
fills in.
space between the house and the grass.
Now, in the other inspection, it said something about not having a separation of the stucco from the ground, and you were saying to me...
These houses were not built with wheat screens. These houses were built with the stucco going right into the ground.
Okay.
So that actually is fine.
That's fine.
As
That's
long
not
as
a
you
problem.
don't overwater.
Okay. So the big thing is
That,
keep the
then you
water
get
away.
this.
Okay. That sounds good. Okay, so
And this
now we're
is-
in the little room.
This is the pool equipment room. Heater in here did fire. Motor is not bonded or grounded. There should be a grounding rod going to that motor.
This filter's level, though.
This filter's
Okay. So this is the pool. So you would have a hot pool, but you would have a cold jacuzzi. Well, I wonder how they rented that out over Coachella. That must have been a challenge. Okay. Hot water heater, is that braced correctly and everything's
It is
fine?
braced correctly. We don't have a temperature pressure relief pipe on here, which should go down to the ground.
Okay.
Terminate 6 inches from the ground.
So does that mean it would go down and then it would actually need to come out of it and then go to the ground
Go
since
to
they're...
the ground. Stop 6 inches from the ground.
Okay.
Now, this is where it gets a little iffy. This room is drawing air over here from the garage.
Right.
So that's where it's getting its combustion air. There is some vents over here, but it is pulling from the garage. And when it pulls from the garage, the water heater needs to be 18 inches off the floor. And we're not 18 inches off the floor.
So that's a code component. So whenever air and the air is coming from that box underneath, is that what you mean? It's
No,
dragging.
it's going to go over here. Side here.
Oh, I see. Okay, so that's.
Inside here.
And so based on that, then the hot water heater would just need to be raised up.
Or you could seal those off and put 2 more vents in these doors, because you have to have high and low vents, and draw your air from outside.
I
But
see.
as
So
long as these are open, that would have to come up.
is there a downfall of doing air from the outside versus
It's
air?
actually better.
The air from the outside would be better. So it would be better to kick a couple holes into the door. Okay. All right.
And seal this off.
And seal off the
Those
ones
have to
for the
be
garage.
sealed.
Okay. Is there anything we need to know about this little room over here?
No, but actually, there's very little in there. Window is fine, electrical is fine, light was fine. There's no heater air in that room. They disconnected it.
Oh, right. The air conditioning and heat would have at some point been connected there, but it's disconnected, and there's nothing to connect it to. And there's the vent to the garage. Okay, both the furnaces.
Both furnaces have the flexible line entering the unit. This section has to be a hard pipe and then connect to the flex.
Okay, so hard pipe to a nipple, and then and that's because if the housing moves, it could cut the flexible
Cut
pipe?
through the flex.
Okay. Otherwise, everything seems like it's working?
Everything's working. There is evidence that we've had some condensation leaks down through here, but it's run all day since I've been here and I've got no leak whatsoever.
Okay, and the leak would indicate what exactly?
But the pan is leaking.
I see.
It's
Okay.
not leaking today, it's fine.
And how old is this?
This one was a 1995.
1995, okay.
Now underneath here, there was some moisture issue again. You can see the stains down here
Yeah.
where there was moisture. So underneath here, there's some debris and some wood that doesn't look real great and some rust. I would just recommend having it all cleaned out.
At some point. Okay. And the temperature differential for this unit was fine?
This one was good. This was 19 degrees on this side of the house.
Okay,
The
19
other one, I'm only getting 12 degrees.
Oh, well, we'll talk about that later then. Okay.
This is the powder room here. There was no issues in here.
Oh, that was all good?
This is all good.
Okay, that's great.
In this bathroom, we have non-tempered glass at the
Okay.
shower again. And then we've got a faucet where I get hot water, but I don't, cold water, but I don't get hot. So this isn't a screen issue, this is a valve issue.
Okay, so there's a valve problem there. Okay.
Toilet worked fine, and we've got a GFCI in here.
That looks like a new one, probably from the same report before. And everything is okay in the
And
bedroom?
everything else in the bedroom was, oh, no. We got, again, 2 light switches that work nothing.
Okay, boy, I really wish I hadn't deleted that thing just to see the spaghetti up there. It's all right, we'll get up there with
Well,
a...
I've got a lot of pictures of it. That'll
Okay,
be my
okay,
report.
that'll be your report, that's good. All right, so where we go next?
Laundry room.
All right, so we're here in the laundry. What's up in the laundry?
We're here in the laundry room. We've got a sub panel here. Everything was fine in the sub panel. No issues there.
And that's a relatively new looking sub
Yes.
panel on top of it. Okay.
Washer dryer. It's electric dryer only. No gas back here. And then we've got a hole in the wall back here, again where they did some repair work.
Okay, I'm gonna go turn sideways. Everybody get ready for that. Oh, yeah, that's lovely. Okay.
And then at the faucet here, we just have a little leak here at the junction.
At the grandma junction? Okay. All right, but if there's gas on the other side of that wall, so if somebody wanted to make that a gas driver, they could do that. Okay, great. All right, so we're in the garage. What's up in this room?
Garage, we've got a door behind us here that should be self-closing. It's a fire door.
Okay.
So it should have a spring on it, and self-closing and latching. We've got over here on the floor what's called efflorescence.
Okay.
And again, this is from excess moisture is what causes the concrete.
And that wall is the courtyard, front courtyard, so it's probably overwatering over there if you were to guess?
Yes.
Okay.
And no GFIs in the garage. There should be a GFI out here in the garage.
Oh, I see. These are just the old...
These are just regular bolts. And that's a recommended upgrade. That wasn't required when the house was built.
Okay, so it would be nice if they're here, but it's not a requirement. I see that there's some staining on the ceiling a little bit. Is this probably related to the roof, I imagine? That really great video again. All right, where are we going next?
What's next?
Living room? Dining room?
Living room.
Okay, we're in the living
We're
room.
in the living room. Fireplace worked fine. All the electrical in here worked fine. We've got a moisture issue over here at the doors where the
Okay,
paint or epoxy that they use is bubbling up.
now you showed me a little monitor. How did that... Show me what we got here so that I can explain this.
I've got a moisture meter here. Concrete should be right around 200 on the moisture meter. And I'm getting as high as 800. That's 795. Depending on where I go, you know, it's close to 800.
And it should be where?
It should be 200 or less.
Okay, so if it's 800, which is 4 times what it's supposed to be, that indicates that there is a source of water underneath the cement.
Correct.
And you said you tested the cement here and where else and had this?
I went throughout the whole living room and hallway, and as I go towards the front of the house, it dissipates. I did get high reading in the dining room and in the kitchen, but not in the family room.
Dining room and kitchen, but not family room. And then we also checked it as it made the transition to the bedrooms on the south side, and that was dry over there.
It was fine.
So probably getting somebody to maybe look for a leak detector type of thing would be a good idea.
Correct.
Okay, and where are we going now?
Front bedroom.
Now, yeah, whatever. Okay, so before the bedrooms, you said you wanted to stop and talk about the ceilings?
Yeah, we've got some staining here in the hallway and in the living room up here as well. Again, most likely related to the roof.
Okay, and now these are the lights that had the three-way switch that I was sort of referring to elsewhere. Can you review what's going on with these? So is it, that's a dimmer?
That's a dimmer, but it's a two-way dimmer.
Possibly, or at least that's what you suspect.
That's what I suspect.
Okay, and then
Because
it's...
it only works from one end, it doesn't work from either side.
Okay, so those...
And then this is a regular three-way switch.
Okay,
These are not coming on. This and
With
this,
that.
That's in the other position.
okay,
So it's not a true three-way.
okay. All right, here we are in the south boudoir. What is
In
it?
here, we've got a slider here that's almost impossible to move. I couldn't get it to open more than a couple inches. And then the bottom down here, there's actually some gaps around that lower pane of glass.
Okay. And this is also that not tempered
Not
glass.
tempered glass, they're original.
Okay. All right, anything else in this room?
We have two light switches, of course, over here as well that don't work anything in the room.
I see. Okay. And then we also went into that closet and just sort of, there was a corner of the carpet that was loose. We brought that up a little bit. Looked very dry,
Very
nothing
dry, no
underneath it.
stains.
So again, just kind of referencing that potential water, whatever question going on in the living room doesn't seem to be an issue on this side.
Correct.
Okay.
Actually, everything was good in here, there's no issues. This is where he said that the diverter didn't work, but I got to work fine.
Okay, so the diverter in here is actually working just fine. And everything else seems like it's working
We
fine.
are
too.
missing a stopper here, but other than that, GFIs have been installed.
Oh my god, that's the end of this sale, I gotta tell you. Alright, but everything else.
Everything else.
Okay, and just so, if you watch the sewer video that goes along with this, outside this window here is where the clean out is, just for reference. Alright, so.
We're entering the master bedroom.
Okay.
There's no light switch at the doorway anywhere. The closest light switch is all the way down there to turn a light on.
Is this where I use sarcasm and go, this is a problem, why?
We don't mind falling and breaking your neck in the middle of the night.
Alright.
We do have GFIs here. These light switches are all working fine.
Oh, these, is that, I wonder if they put these in too. That looks like the very same GFCI that we saw.
Shower, again, we have non-tempered glass.
That is so groovy though.
We've got a few cracked tiles down here. This bank of sprays on the right-hand side is no longer working.
Okay, so it's just there for visual loveliness. The gold
And the
package.
fan in here is not working.
Okay.
Bathroom.
Okay.
And
So
then
I
the
see dripping
slide
water.
lights are no longer working.
Okay, but I do see dripping water, so it does tend to get some water, apparently.
Yes.
Okay.
Fan, light, toilet, everything worked fine in there. At every exterior door, we should have a light switch also to turn on to walk outside. We actually have a light up there, right here, but no switch to turn it on.
Oh. Okay. Okay, interesting. And everything else fine and dandy?
Everything else was working fine.
Okay. Anything in the actual bedroom?
Yes.
Okay.
Stains in this corner over here, which is probably related to sprinklers.
Okay, so let's take a quick look at what you're seeing there,
Because
Chris.
here the grass does come right up to the house.
I see. So maybe, so probably that grass
See
needs to
down
be
here at the bottom.
separated. I see.
There and up here.
So that grass needs to be separated away.
And the sprinklers diverted away from the house.
Okay. Anything else in this lovely large room?
Over here again, I think they might have had the bed here at one time because they have switches over here, but now they've got.
Oh, those
dead
are dummy
plates.
plates.
They're dummy plates now.
Okay, so we're not sure what's
So
behind
I
that
don't know if
electrical.
those would have ever worked.
Okay. And there's no new switches on either side of the bed, so. And then the black,
That's the rheostat for the speakers.
okay. All right. And what's next?
Outside pool.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go outside and look at stuff, although I have to point these out. Scary. Like,
Like gargoyles.
well, they're really kind of terrifying. The ones at the top are not so bad, but, okay. What do we got out here?
Here we do have some exposed wires that should be in a junction box.
Okay. Anything else on here on the patio area?
Patio was fine. The rest of the patio was fine.
Okay.
Pool, as you can see, the dark bottom pool is etched and the plaster's starting to show through. So it's pretty worn. There's some chipping over here at the steps.
Okay. Now, in the other inspection, it sort of said end of useful life. How are you feeling about this? How much time is kind of
Well, the
possibly
the
left?
plaster itself is just cosmetic. It's not has nothing to do with holding the water. So it's really just a matter of how long do you want to look at it like this.
Okay.
So when you say end of its useful life, it really doesn't do anything other than look pretty.
Well, that's very useful. Okay. What else out here? We already know that the spa's not heating up. And did the fireplace fire?
Fireplace fired up.
Okay.
We've got two switches that appear to be abandoned over here, no longer work anything.
Okay. Interesting. Anything else that we've got?
Nothing else over here until we get back around to the side of the house with the electrical panel.
All right, well, let's go over there and take a look. I did notice that the light for the pool is on.
So that's a switch inside that family room we need to turn on.
Okay. All right, we're out on the north side of the house, and we're going to talk about. Well, actually, I'm going to show you something first. This is the clean out, the black top there. That's where we went in for the sewer inspection. All right, Chris, what are we looking at here?
We've got a motor down here in this pit. This is an abandoned motor for the spa in the master bathroom, the spa tub.
Okay.
And the electrical is improper, it's not grounded, it's not bonded, and it's not functional any longer.
So there's a whole lot of knot going on in there. Okay, so next up is the
Furnace room.
Well, what about the compressor here?
This is the air conditioning compressor. This side of the house is not cooling as well as the other side. This is only getting a 12-degree differential. It should be minimum 15 to 22.
Minimum 15 to 22. Okay, so we need to get this serviced. And the reason Chris acts like maybe he's doing this again is because I forgot to record this section the first time. So we're doing a retake just to give him, a little latitude on that. All right, so let me step back so you can see the closet. There's the compressor. Okay, so what's the deal with the closet here?
Closet here, we've got the same issue on this one with the flex line entering the unit. This should be rigid pipe, done flex.
Okay.
A lot of debris down below, just like the other one. It should be cleaned out. And the water heater here was a 1991. We've only got one strap on it. It's required to have two straps.
Okay, so it's inappropriately strapped. It's 1991. Is it the correct amount off the ground unlike the other one?
This one's fine because it's not adjacent to a garage.
And it also has the pipe coming down for release, right?
Yeah, so it goes outside.
Okay. Anything
The
else?
rest of this was okay.
Anything else in this room?
No.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to admit this huge piece of square D, whatever, electrical box scares the bejesus out of me. What is this?
This is the main panel. This is
Okay.
a 400 amp panel.
400 amp, okay.
And it's working fine, it's wired fine. The issue here is the enclosure around it really needs to be rebuilt. It's not going to be watertight. You can't have water dripping in on this unit.
Okay.
This is 400 amps of electricity flowing through here. So this should all be rebuilt and sealed so that it's weathertight.
Okay. Anything else on this end?
That's it.
And is that it for the...
That's it.
Okay, we're all done.
Unless we're going back on the roof to...
No, we're not going to do that. Okay, thanks, Chris. Okay, so some of this, maybe phone, maybe speaker, but the rest of it is 110.
Yeah.
And then you were saying something about that raised area. The far side of that raised area has cracks in the slope that's coming up. So in that,
where it
that
comes
over here.
up on the far side.
Okay.
A lot of cracking and peeling, so that's going to have to be replaced.
And so, I know I asked this off camera, but let's ask again. The rock is for what purpose?
To keep the sun off the tar, keep the UV off the tar,
Okay, so they sweep up all of this stone, retar.
and then put all the stone back down.
So they may not have to take anything up. They just retar and then put this down. It would depend on what they find when they sweep it up. Is that the story?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's that bad. I didn't find any weak areas anywhere where they're going to have to replace plywood. It all feels pretty firm. So I'm pretty sure they can go right over it with another.
Okay, so,
All right.
well, actually, that sounds encouraging. I don't know, my first instinct was like, ah. Okay. All right, that sounds better.